And we're live. Hi, everyone. It is Carrie from Live Accessible, and today I am so excited to have Vika from Vekachuu here with me today, and we're going to talk about Aniridia Syndrome. We both have Aniridia.
Yep. Yes, we do.
Yes, and sorry, something just played in the background, and I was confused. I thought that was you talking, but no. But yeah, it's actually Vika just told me that today is Rare Disease Day, and I totally didn't know, and we totally didn't. I didn't plan it out this way, but it just so happened. So things work out like that sometimes. So really quickly, Vika, just talk about yourself a little bit and your channel.
Oh, I'm really bad talking about myself. But so my channel is very random. Right now I mostly talk about updates about my vision, which is with the aniridia and hemorrhages that I have recently faced the past year. And I also really love to dance from like K-pop dances. I'm really into K-pop. I'm addicted to this Japanese bear called Rilakkuma. And I'm really chill and I like to speak about certain topics, really, some people call political, some people don't. But yeah, that's basically me.
Yes, and she's also on TikTok, which she dragged me onto.
Yes,
So, you
which
guys
you are
can.
blowing up, girl.
Oh, I don't know. I just posted 2
You've been
videos. I'm
on there
like,
for
okay.
you were barely
But
on there
yeah,
for like 4 days or something, and you already got like almost 300 followers, girl.
I will. I think it's mostly from, the YouTube channel. Like, whoever's using YouTube and TikTok have gone over there
Yeah.
too. But I'm going to be posting, a lot more. Right now, I just have like the 2 YouTube shorts that I did, but I just did um was it 5 videos for TikTok for like the week. So that'll be fun. So along with Rare Disease Day today, it's also Low Vision Awareness Month. It's the
Mhm.
last day. And so that's another reason why I wanted to do
Yeah.
it today. And so first of all, what is aniridia? Um, Most commonly, people know aniridia as like a rare eye disease where someone has a partial or total lack of the iris. But I want to read this quote from Anaridia Foundation International. It's from their website, and the link from all this information will be down below. So they say Anaridia syndrome is a genetic congenital eye and medical syndrome, usually usually what usually detected at birth. The most notable feature is that the baby has dark eyes with no real iris color. Although aniridia means lack of iris, this is the least important issue of aniridia syndrome. Um, when named many years ago, all that physicians noted was that the child had no iris and would have low vision and possible light sensitivity, because it used to be called aniridia and now it's called Aniridia syndrome. And basically the syndrome just means like that it's more than one medical condition. And basically most people just say I have aniridia, but it's technically Aniridia syndrome. And because the other conditions that you can have from that is things like glaucoma and cataract, corneal disease. You could even have diabetes or autism, nystagmus, metabolic issues, retinal detachments, aniridia fibrosis syndrome, which is known as AFS, macula and optic nerve disease, Wagner syndrome, and there's others as well. So, besides aniridia, what other eye conditions do you have, Vika?
Well, I have glaucoma and I have very severe glaucoma due to it. I have nystagmus, and right now I'm dealing with hemorrhages, and I think that's from actually what you just said. I heard my ophthalmologist say, which is the fibrosis or something. I also heard that aniridia causes hearing loss too. So when my family used to, we have to always go to the hearing doctor due to it when we were younger.
Mhm. Yeah, and I didn't know that one about the hearing, but I do know that glaucoma is very, very common for aniridia patients. So, like, this is one of the things that they want you to like check every 6 months or so, because even if you're born with just aniridia, you can still develop glaucoma in the future. And so I got glaucoma when I was 16. What about you, Vika?
I had it since I don't even know. I started glaucoma surgeries at young age.
Oh,
So
wow.
I guess since birth, yeah. When you told me, well, you didn't tell me, you said in a video that you never had surgeries or something. I was like, wow. I was so jealous in a way. I was like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even know.
No, I have not, but like everybody else in my family has. Like my sister, she has Anoridia, and my dad, and like my aunts and uncles. And we'll get into more of the genetics in a little bit. But like, I think I'm the only one that has never gone through like an eye surgery. Yeah. So what other like things like what did the surgeries help in any way, or what were they for, if we can ask?
They're mostly like I think the first major surgery that I had, which was actually like I was 7 or 8, and it was a glaucoma surgery to put the tubes in my eye to reduce pressure. And then since then I've been
Mm.
getting cataracts and scar tissue removed over since then. But it had what was weird though about one of the I think that Pacific surgery is that my right eye was my best eye when I was younger, and then after the surgery, my left eye became my dominant eye.
Well, like
So
everybody who's like always there, when I say that I have cataract, people say, "Oh, why don't you get cataract surgery? Why don't you get cataract surgery? It really helped me." Especially this comes from a lot of sighted people as well. And the thing is that to do any surgery on my eyes, like doctors are afraid to do surgeries on
yes,
my
they really
eyes.
are. Yeah. They from what the doctors I go see a cornea specialist, I see a retina specialist now, and I see my regular ophthalmologist who's the only doctor in this world I trust. But he told me that basically the first thing they do like surgery is like opening up a can of worms because aniridia
Yeah.
is like a can of worms.
Hmm.
That's how you described me. So with me doing it so young, it was already like I opened up that world. It's
Yeah.
very complicated with our condition,
Yeah. And
which is
that's the
another
thing.
reason why they don't. Oh, oh,
No,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That is also a reason why, like I mentioned earlier, I have hemorrhages. They don't want to do any type of surgery on my right eye because they don't know what's going to happen. So they're just letting the hemorrhage happen and just sticking with the normal eye for now. So it's again worse.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, my dad, he got cataract surgery, and this was back in Philippines, so it could be slightly different here. But when he went through surgery, he was able to see like so much better. But then they couldn't control the glaucoma, and because his pressure just shot through the roof, that's what caused like his total vision loss. And like every time I think about cataract surgery, I'm like, well, I might gain some vision, but there's like such a big risk that there'll be other complications that I just say, I'll if I get to a point where I basically can't use my vision anyway. Maybe like if it could help in that case, but while I still have vision, I want to keep it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. No, I completely understand because it's like I said, it's a can of worms, and then cataracts reform too. So it's
Yeah.
like it's complicated. It's very complicated.
So, continuing on about Anaridia, it affects about 1 out of 40,000 to 1 out of 100,000 people in the world. So it depends on like the country that you're analyzing. And so I think, well, from what I understand, there's about 5 or 6,000 people in the United States that have Anaridia, which I'm like, wow, I didn't know that there was that many people in the US that have Aniridia. And then, like, what the ways that you can pass on Aniridia is uh, there. So I didn't know this. I thought it was only sporadic or familial, but there's also recessive, which apparently is really, really rare in the United States, but in other parts of the country, other parts of the world, it does happen. And then there's sporadic, where neither of the parents had aniridia before. And then once they have aniridia, they can pass it to their kids. So, like, every person who has aniridia has a 50% chance of passing it on. And then, so that's what kind of makes the familial inheritance pattern. And so that's how I have aniridia, because my dad had aniridia, and we believe that my grandma had it, but she was a sporadic case. What about you, Vika?
Well, I know my granddad, on my mom's side, has Anaridia. So his kids got it, and we got it through our mom, but they don't know how they got it because my granddad, one of my granddad's brothers didn't have Anaridia, had no vision issues at all, but then the other brother did, the youngest brother did. And
Mm.
I don't know about your family, but I um how can I say this? There's different types of Anaridia. So there's like Anaridia 1 and Anaridia 2. So some are more stronger in other family members than the others. So like I have it between my siblings, mine is the worst, and I think my brothers are the least, because they're like you, they never had surgery before.
Oh, well, but my vision is pretty bad too, though. So, like, according to uh, Anaridia Foundation, there's different genes that can be affected when you have aniridia, but the most common is a genetic error in the short arm of the chromosome 11p13, which is on the PAX6 gene. And the PAX6 gene is responsible for the development of the eye, but a lot of the other parts of your body too. So that's why, like, other parts of your body can be affected when you have aniridia. And in a lot of cases, it's not just the iris, but like the muscles around the eye. And so basically, your whole eye can be underdeveloped in a way. And most people with aniridia are legally blind, so they have 20/200 vision. But there are cases where people have low vision, which is like basically 20/40 to the 2200 range. And so, like, what's your vision?
I get asked this a lot, and I don't even know myself, to be honest with you.
Like, describe it a little. What can you see and what can't you?
Okay, so what I see is like I can see a little bit like this is a hard question. It's always a hard question.
It is
Um
a hard
I
question.
can see enough out of I Okay, so I know most people probably can't tell, but like I'm like probably not even barely not that far away from the phone that I'm recording on. And I can see enough, like I can see you, but I can't see like your eyes or details like that or
Oh,
anything on
you
your
don't
shirt.
have
I
to
can
see
just
it.
tell that you're like, yeah, I know. I'm just, or I can't see small print. I can only see large print. Dark mode is the best for me.
Yes, yes
Um,
for dark mode.
very close up, very close up. Everything, yes, dark mode. Dark
So
mode
like,
saved everything. But
how big do you need your large print? Like if somebody was gonna print it, some a paper for you.
I usually tell people the smallest I prefer is 16 Arial font because there's no like curves or anything on Arial font.
Hmm. Like I
Um,
really don't like Times New Roman. It's
I
like,
don't either. It's hard to see. That's why I always request Arial or like Arial Black because it's already large. It's like already a large font.
yeah,
Um, so
and
I
bold is
always
good
like, can
too.
you? Yeah, bold. It has to be bold. It cannot be thin.
Yeah, like anybody in the chat, like if you still have some vision and you can read large print, like what text size do you guys like? Because for me, if I can get away with it, I just wouldn't have any paper. Like seriously,
Same.
I don't like paper. And whenever I
Right.
get mail, I'm like, no, no, why do they have to
Yes,
send
yes,
mail? Can it just be,
yes. Like I,
email or something?
yes. Social security letters large print is a joke to me. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, and so,
So,
oh, like for me, I would probably be more happy. Like I could read 16-point font. It's not that I couldn't, but it's just not comfortable for me because like I can see things pretty
mm,
small if I really strained, but it causes a lot of eye strain,
yeah.
and I just don't want to go
I
through that. But I could if
I
I had
understand. I
to.
understand. That's
And but I couldn't like read a whole
like
book or even a whole page like that.
oh yeah.
But I'd probably be
True, true.
okay
I
with
prefer digital most of the time.
like 24 point. I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, that's pretty big. I prefer that too. If it's a different type of font.
Yeah. Don't use Times New Roman or any, what do you call that, sans serif or sans serif or whatever, that kind of font that has like those
I
extra
don't
lines. We don't
know.
need that. You don't need that font.
Yeah, we don't know. No.
And then
No,
there's
no,
also
no.
like, I don't know, businesses or people who choose to put colors, like the weirdest colors, like white on orange,
I hate
or like white on
that.
yellow, and I'm like, what in the world? That's not even good for
It's,
like sighted people.
yeah, especially like with captions on like we like anime, so like we don't read subs, but like I notice like a lot of the time when there is subs, it's white captions and it's this white background. And I'm like, how do sighted people even see that themselves?
And
Like,
because they put like the tiniest, thinnest border, and they think that's, oh, that's good
yes,
enough. And I'm like, no, what is it saying?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, Vika, what are some of the aids or things that you do, to help with like daily life?
So I'm very I know Blind Toast is in the chat right now and he knows I'm very stubborn and you guys are gonna learn this, but usually I use voiceover and the magnifier on the phone. I'm learning Zoom. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. Sometimes it can be a headache to use because it's like I want to zoom and then move the screen, but then it doesn't want to move with me. It's just I use dark mode, like I said, and then I now use the bumps, the dots that we put on elect like on like microwaves and stuff. I use a cane, a coding cane, and
What kind
My
of
mom
cane do
has a
you use?
Ruby that was mine. I use the aluminum cane. It's from Ambitech. It's the it's the 6 section though,
Gotcha.
or 4 section.
Aluminum
I don't know.
or graphite? Oh, you don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's aluminum.
Oh,
I
okay.
I never even knew about graphite until I met you guys.
Oh, graphite is a little bit lighter. It's just a little bit lighter.
Oh.
Um, and then like I at least I used to work at a low vision center, and most of the time like there would be like these people who would come, employees, and their cane would because their cane is stuck. So I think I don't know if it's like the cold weather or what it is, but like I would have to call Pablo
It
because we
is.
worked we worked in the same place, and I'm like, okay, somebody has to help me like pull this cane apart because it's stuck. So one thing about the graphite is it doesn't. I've never experienced it doing that or getting stuck.
Okay, because yeah, it does get stuck during the winter, or like sometimes like if you tap it too hard,
Yeah, that
that's
too.
another thing too.
Yeah, but yeah. So I love. Well, you're using an iPhone, right?
Yes,
Do you
you kind
use
of make me. I want to learn to use or try one day a Google Pixel though. You make it sound so good.
I love Pixel, and I actually want to get one of the newer ones, which is like the Pixel 4a 5G. And Pablo's basically
Oh,
says to do whatever I want, but at the same time, he's like, "Why don't you wait for the next one?" So I'm
the
like,
5 did come out.
"You're gonna buy the next one?" Oh, okay,
The
Pablo,
5
you're
is
supposed to
out.
be doing your assignment. Oh,
Do
okay.
your homework.
Because says do your homework. Yeah, but but I love. Okay, there's one thing like okay, so for voice for iPhone, like I think is really great, and I think that voiceover is great. But one thing I really don't like about the iPhone is the zoom. Um, like if you just compare the zoom on Android and the zoom on iPhone, I just feel like for me, I know there's people out there that completely disagree with me, but I just feel like it's easier to use because all you have to do is like a one finger triple tap on the screen, and then you just
Oh
need
my
two fingers to move around the screen. And like I know that iPhone, I know that the reason why they do that is because of compatibility issues sometimes like with games or like other things too. But I just like my one finger triple tap. I'm sorry.
That sounds better. I'm already sold. I'm already sold. Because it does get confusing because it's like you need one finger to scroll over and then you need 3 fingers to do another thing. And I'm just like, I'd rather just
Yeah.
screenshot. And I know that
Ye-
strains my eyes, but it's just easier to screenshot than use Zoom.
Well, you can also use the controller, the Zoom controller. Have you tried that? If you go in the settings in under Zoom, there's a controller, and so you can still use like one finger. Um, you have to press on the controller, and you can use it like a joystick on the screen. But my issue
Oh.
is that the controller, like for me, like I don't know, it just either I couldn't find it, or I forget where I put it, or I accidentally move it, or like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I didn't try hard enough or practice enough, but I just couldn't get used to it. But
Um,
again, this is all like personal taste. Yeah. But I'm excited because one thing that TalkBack, the new TalkBack, is coming out with is voice control. Like just TalkBack voice
ooh.
control, not just like the because there's voice control on both Android and iPhone, but like you can control TalkBack with voice control, which I haven't tried yet, but it seems pretty cool.
I see a new video coming.
I don't know. Sam says he's going to do it. So if anybody wants to know about Talkback 9.1, go watch Sam's video. He's supposed to post one sometime soon. Because I don't have Talkback 9.1 on my phone, so I won't be able to do it. But yeah, do you use a CCTV?
Yeah, I had a Ruby for a minute, but my mom stole it. And then, like I said, the closest to a CCTV I use now is my phone, so like the magnifier that we can pull up on the phone,
Do you use just
which
the
works just as
iPhone
well.
magnifier, or do you use the like on a different app?
Well, right now I use the iPhone magnifier.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know there was other apps.
Yeah, apparently there are. I don't know how well they work. I haven't played around with it on Pablo's iPhone, and I want to get like an iPhone. I want to have like my ideal would
Oh, this
be to have like an iPhone, a Pixel, and a Samsung. but
that
but
does sound ideal.
yeah, I'm kind of nerdy, but I would love to have that. And I just want to say thank you to the Bishi. She gave us super chat. Thank you so
Oh,
much. And they said, thanks for the videos. They're super well thought out and allow for many perspectives on tech. Super rare these days. Cheers from Sean in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Wow, from Canada. That's awesome. Well, thank you again so much. Okay, let's see here. Um, Are there any other like aids or strategies that you use?
no, I'm still learning. I feel like I'm a new person when it comes to all this. My mom raised me basically as a sighted person, kind of,
Re-
which is cool
Really?
and all, but now it's like, yeah, so like I'm the first person to use voiceover in the whole family.
Oh wow. How much vision does
Yeah.
the other people that have Anaridia in your family have?
Well, my mom has the worst vision out of us all, but I'm getting pretty close to her right now. And
Oh.
my brothers see well enough to wear glasses. But one of my brothers prefer the light mode. I still don't understand it, but he prefers the regular way. He's
There are people that, just
but
because of their
yeah,
vision it's better. I don't understand it, but whatever
I
works.
know. No hate, no hate. We just don't understand it.
So like you said that was it who was it that wears glasses?
Both my brothers.
Oh, okay. So how much can they see? Like, are they still legally blind with their glasses on, or can they drive?
Yes, they're legally blind with their glasses on, but no, they can't drive.
Okay.
But I have a brother who is a year younger than me, and he works for like the bus system in our city as a scheduler, but he really wishes he could drive a bus.
Well, you never know. They'll have self-driving. They already have some self-driving buses. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true.
Like, you never know what's gonna happen, right? Would you
Right.
would you ever get into a self-driving car?
It's like a yes and no for me. It kind of gives me anxiety already being in a regular car with some crazy drivers here and there, but
Oh boy. Well, we'll have to see, like, in the future. I'll have, like, a whole bunch of other people test it first, like, and then once,
right.
like,
Right.
yeah, that is kind of scary. So, like, because I think that we're both pretty similar. Like, we both grew up with, like, our family being visually impaired. So Like, what was it like for you, like, growing up? Because you said that your mom basically treated you guys like you were sighted. What does that mean? Like, what was it like?
So okay, so basically, like in school, I went to public school, and I had like like the CCTV you had to roll with a big
Oh my
TV with the
gosh.
camera,
Oh my
and I did have
gosh.
yeah, our age is showing. But yeah, I had that, and I had the normal VI teacher come to you for like a little bit of the day. They did try to teach me Braille, like from kindergarten to third grade, but that stopped because
Mm,
other activities had to happen. But most of the time, like outside of that, like there wasn't really like a you're blind or visual. Like my mom kept telling me like you're visually impaired, but that's all that's wrong with you. She just treated us like regular kids. It wasn't like anything. She tried to
mhm,
have us go to like some blind camps here and there, but it wasn't like really forced on us. She took us to some events for like
mm,
our local visually. It's called VIPS, visually impaired preschool. They run events here for like the kids for like Halloween and Christmas stuff. But she took us to those, but like other than that, like she's like, you're just a regular kid. So for me, it was like just saying I can't see most of the time. Like I would say that like I can't see, but I can do it. I can see enough to get around. I can see enough to do this, you know. But
mhm.
I just felt like I was more like a sighted person, and well, yeah, I felt like I was more like a blind person but sighted person, if that makes sense.
Were you the only one in the school that was blind?
So in elementary, yes, I was the only person most of the time. When I got to middle school, there was one person who had it, but I went to multiple schools. So the second middle school I went to, they had a VI room, and I there was a few other blind people there. And then
Oh,
when I got to
really?
yeah, yeah, so that worked out pretty well. And then my first high school I went to, they had that same person that originally was at the other middle school I was at. So she was there with me, but she didn't really need as much help as I did.
Mhm.
Um, so she didn't get it as much. So I was probably the main one that they had to focus on. But when I went to the second high school, they had another VI room, and that was very helpful too. Um, but the weird part was that because we have where I live, there's the Kentucky School for the Blind in my city. So in that high school, the VI room would have like some kids come to the high school to learn some other classes that I guess they didn't have at KSB for them to
Mhm.
graduate. I don't know how that really worked because I wasn't a student there, but they came in like half a day and then they'll leave. So it was
Mm,
interesting.
okay. Wow, because like my sister, well, first I want to mention that like I think because at least your mom, she had Anaridia, and my dad had Anaridia, and so they know that being blind or not being able to see something is not an excuse. So we couldn't get away
Yeah.
with stuff in that way, right?
Oh
Because
yeah. Yeah, that too. Yeah, yeah.
and like with school,
No getting away with stuff.
yeah. My sister was 7 years older than me. So she was in the same school system as me, but we were never in the same school. So I was literally the only blind person in like the whole school, whether it was in elementary or middle or high school. And wow, that was hard. That was really tough for me. I had a really hard time with that because like nobody knew my sister, so I didn't have like that kind of background except for the teachers. The teachers were nice to me for the most part. and probably too nice sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah, like it was horrible. I know I had an Italian teacher, and I literally did not pay attention to one thing in her class. Like I would fall asleep in her class, and she gave me like an A or B, I can't remember. And I'm just like, what? I should have failed this class. But no, I didn't. She just passed me. I guess she felt sorry for the blind kid. And actually that's like the actually worst thing that teachers can do. It's the teachers that I really respected were the ones that were like, no, no, just because you're blind, you better do it, you know? Like I hated it at the time. I'm just like, just leave me alone. But it was those
Yeah.
teachers that really pushed me, to do better. Did you have any
I
fun?
can understand that. I I feel like that with most of my science classes, like all of them. I'm not good at science at all. Like as soon as I read a little paragraph, it can be like even kindergarten level, my brain is not there. And it was just like I'm always passed with like there was one teacher where she gave me an eye. She's like, I'm not gonna make her do anything, just let her be. And I'm just like, okay, I guess. There was one science teacher where I said I liked at the time I said I like Metallica, and he's like, "Oh, you like Metallica?" So that gave me a pass to pass the class.
Okay.
I'm like, what? Okay. I didn't do really anything, and I'm like, oh god, they're just doing this because I'm blind, aren't they? But I have seen a teacher where she was really tough, and out of nowhere she was like, if you have really bad handwriting, you cannot pass this class. And I was like, oh no. And then I said, I have a vision problem. She's like, that is different. And I was like, okay.
Did they
Why is
make you
that every time?
Oh, okay, no. Finish.
I was like, why is it every time I say that about actually I can't see, they're like, you get a pass. I'm like, this is not what my mom would say. She would kick my butt right now.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously, yeah. That's so true. Uh, my my dad, he and my mom, like I was born in Philippines, but I moved here when I was
Oh.
3. And so I'm basically an American because I mean, I don't remember almost anything from Philippines. I grew up here, but the thing is that when I was 3, they put me in, I guess it was preschool. I honestly don't remember, but I did not know a single English word, or maybe I might have known like one, but I really could not speak English. And so they just put me in school, and they're like, go for it, you're gonna learn English and all this stuff. And then like the teachers were like, maybe we should put her in special ed, maybe we should, like, she needs
Oh.
some tutoring like on her own. And they're like, my parents are like, no, there's nothing wrong with her, she just doesn't know English. I'm sure that there's other people, other kids that don't know English, so she's just gonna have to learn. And then, like, my parents were just like, put their foot down, and they're like, okay, we'll try. And then I remember being in the classroom, and I was just like, what the heck are these people saying? I'm like, because I didn't
Yeah.
understand. But then, like, because I was so young, I don't know, one day I couldn't understand anything that they were saying, and the next day I understood like everything they were saying. It was weird. But yeah,
Oh my god.
after that, they're like, okay, yeah, she doesn't need special education classes, so she's fine. Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
did you have to carry around like large print textbooks?
Oh my god, I don't. Why you have to bring up those horrid memories?
I remember
Yes.
I remember a physics textbook that I had that, like regular books open like this, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it looked like a regular book, right? But
Yes.
you had to put it sideways and open it
Yes.
up, and half the page was on the top and the other half was
Yes.
on the bottom. And those were the worst types of books. Well, okay, no, I don't know, they're both bad, but there was
Or
6 volumes of it, and I'm just like,
yes. I was
I'm
trying
just like,
so hard to be one of those kids that be prepared for that class, and sometimes you'll be like, it's a hit or miss because they'll tell you ahead of time, like, hey, make sure you have this volume, or hey, I make sure. And then you get to class and they're like, we're actually on this page, and you don't even have the book because you're like, I'm not carrying around 5 books.
exactly. And then I don't know if that was worse or if it was the paper ones that were like double the size of a regular paper with the spiral
Yeah.
binding.
Oh my
Cuz that just
god.
both of
No.
those were just a pain because neither of them fit on the desk. And then
Yes.
because in my
Yes.
school they were small desks. Oh my gosh. Did kids
Especially
play
when
with
you already
your
have like already.
what were especially when
Oh
what?
yeah, yeah. I was gonna actually say that. I think I know what you're about to ask. I was gonna say the books being the desks are so small. You already have 2 desks because you have the TV and the camera on one desk, and then you have the book, and then the kids played with the CCTV. They're
Oh my
always like, "Hey,
gosh.
am I on candy camera or something like that?" And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh, it
"No."
was horrible. Oh my gosh, no.
It
I
was horrible.
had
Yes.
the old school CCTV. It didn't have like a distance camera. I had one that was like 2 pieces, like the screen on top of like this big part, and they had it on a rolling cart,
Oh.
and like it would follow me from class to class. It's so embarrassing. And like all the time there would be kids that would like stick their hand under the CCTV and
No.
magnify it so much, and they're like, "Oh my
Oh.
gosh, yo, look how gross your hand is."
Oh
They would
God,
do that.
no.
And it's like you're in middle school, or like I was in middle school, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Because you kind of, it's part of you is like you want to kind of be cool or different,
Yes.
and like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
look, I have this, but at the same time, yeah, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yes, it is. It is.
Did you have a teacher's aide too?
Yes, I did. Actually, the my longest teacher aide became part of our family.
Oh, really?
But the one I had majority of my elementary uh life, I could say, was the one that became part of our family. And but after that, I did have other ones, and I can remember a lot of good ones, but there were some horrible ones too.
I ran away from
But
one
it
of
was kind of hard.
mine.
I rebelled against a lot of them in high school. I was like,
Oh my
whatever.
gosh. It was horrible. Let me tell you, it was just miserable.
Yeah.
I ran away from one in middle school, and like she chased me down the hallway. And then I got in trouble. I had to go talk to my guidance counselor or somebody. I can't remember who. And I'm like, I just don't like her. Give me a different one. And like then I had another one that was, she was so nice. I loved her. And like, and she was one of those people that connected with the other kids too. So like it was just more comfortable. She would be so nice and helpful to me, but then she'd like turn around and talk to the other kids, and I'm like, she's more popular than I am.
I have
Oh
one of
my god.
those. In high school, there was because we had the second high school I went to, because we had the VI room. There was 2 or 3 teachers. No, there was 2 teachers, two main teachers. One mostly stayed in office. The other one kind of followed you. Um, and the one that really followed you was usually with the KSB kids. And sometimes we got put in the same classes. And let me tell you, nobody liked her. Even the other students, they were like, "Why are the blind kids here? We don't want that person in this class," because she was so evil. It was just
Really?
like, oh God, like it was like, why do I have to be blind now? It was cool at first, now it's not.
Yeah. It's just crazy. So like what was it like, at home, since your mom, was also visually impaired? Like what kind of things did you guys do, um to overcome, like, the difficulties of being a family that were visually impaired?
See, I don't feel like I have any special stories when it comes to the visually impaired part because like I said, the closest we got was mom using a cane but and needing guidance around places, but other than that, we don't really or didn't really have anything special in the house. We basically was raised like any other normal kids. Because my mom was raised that way, so she raised us that way.
What about
Um
like going out and doing errands and stuff like that, or driving around,
mm,
getting to places?
we never had. We are bus bound. We always been bus bound since I was known. My we don't. I don't really have a father figure in my life, but the dad, he had a car here and there, and he it wasn't. It's not really worth bringing up, but sometimes it would help,
Hmm.
sometimes it didn't. But we are really just um bus bound. So like when we go out and get like groceries and stuff, we get like we take this thing called like a basket, a buggy,
Hmm.
and we get our groceries that way. And then we'll either like right now we'll walk from the grocery store there and back to get our groceries with the buggy.
Girl,
We
you're
have a
lucky to
very
be able
reliant,
to
not
walk.
yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's like a very reliant bus system, but I'm gonna say like we do have like a bus system that's decent enough to get around. So like I just rely on that. Paratransit is too much for me. It's like $3 per trip. I rather just
Mm.
do the 80 cents. And since I was a U of
Hmm.
L student, students get on the regular bus, so I just rather do that.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Yeah, so
it's free.
yeah, it's free. Take advantage.
Who can beat that?
Right. Now I will say this: best part about some bus drivers, because my mom used to go around the city a lot too with the on bus systems, and she grew up around some of the bus drivers. They knew her, so like when they see us, they're like, "Oh, we'll watch out for them." But other than that, it's like I said, it's just like I feel like a normal person sometimes when it comes to like the
Well, we
household
are
part and going
normal.
out.
We are
I
normal,
know,
Vika.
I know we are, we are. It's like I feel like some people expect this like you were raised this way or you were raised that way. I'm just sitting here like, no, I rebelled. I did this. I went out by myself, even though I couldn't see.
Yeah. Yep.
What I'm trying to say is like basically wasn't sheltered. Like there's some
Hmm.
people that expect a very sheltered story, and I wasn't sheltered.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What about
So
you?
about me, well, like one thing that I really remember is because my dad is totally blind, and my grandma, who lived with us, who was my dad's mom, lived with us too for the longest time. This was back in New Jersey and New York, and like and my brother is deaf, so he can't talk.
Oh,
Uh, and he can't hear, and he does sign language, or like, you can talk to him with like writing out stuff or texting out stuff like that. But the thing is, so when we left the house, my mom could drive. She was the only one that was sighted and didn't have any like disabilities. When we would go out someplace, like, everybody would spot us, like, and see that there's, oh, this family is different. So for me, I always felt like that kind of self-consciousness
Oh, I can
in
understand that.
my family, because because like me and my sister are visually impaired, and so we're looking at stuff really close, and then
Mhm.
somebody's like, my dad is usually like using sighted guide with my mom, and then like somebody else is helping my grandma, and then like somebody's using sign language. So it's like
Oh,
you can't really miss it. And so I just remember kind of feeling awkward for a lot of my life, my younger life, because of that. When we went out, but I mean, I love my family, of course. Um,
yes.
and it felt normal to us. But especially when you're a teenager, you're like, the, you just feel so self-conscious about everything. At least I did.
I
um,
understand that. My uncle is he has, I don't want to say the R word, but he is borderline the R word. So, it's basically autism, but we don't know if he has it because, like, we know he's in the spectrum, but he wasn't really like what is the word? Diagnosed. He wasn't diagnosed with it, but you can tell he is because of that time. Um, so when I was younger, I always felt embarrassed when I was around him. And but now it's like, I love him and everything. And I know the proper words and I know the proper stuff to say around him and how to communicate with him now. But back then it was like, I always felt self conscious around them. And
mhm.
one of my half brother is also autistic. He was diagnosed, but once again, I didn't know how to deal with it when I was younger, but now I do. So it's just like I can understand where you're coming from with that perspective.
Yeah, and because when I was younger, I was extremely pretty shy. I'm definitely more
Yeah.
introverted. I'm like such an introvert, which is funny because people always think that you have to be like extroverted to do YouTube.
Mm,
But I don't know. It's not until you just live through it and you learn and get comfortable with yourself, then that's when you start having more confidence, I think, and being able to um, just handle whatever comes, whatever people might say or think about you. And another thing, like for me, that was difficult too, because I have microcornea. Like again, with Anoridia, your whole eye is kind of underdeveloped. So I have like really small corneas, and everybody would always say, "Are you Chinese?" to me, and I'm like, "No, I'm
oh
not
yeah.
Chinese." And like also with that too, like I have nystagmus, like really pretty bad nystagmus. So my eyes wander all over and they move, and I can't control that at all. And so like when I was in school, I was always aware of like people saying like, "Why are you rolling your eyes at me? Why do
Mm,
your eyes move
yes,
funny?
yes,
Why do you do
yes.
that?" And like I know you were talking about how some people like say stuff to you, so why don't you share a little bit about that?
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna be honest with all of you guys. I was also grew up in the projects, the hood. So there was a lot of bullying and getting beat up for actually the nystagmus on my end. I would never, I did not know nystagmus was a thing, when my mom told us Anaridia, we always just, I didn't know what the real definition was until last year when I found Carrie's channel, and she explained it so well that I was just like, oh my goodness. So it took me literally 27 years to find out I had nystagmus. I knew my brother had it, but I didn't know I had it until a doctor finally told me I had it last year. So I was, they would always go, "Why are you rolling your eyes at me?" And I'm sitting there like, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm sitting here like literally no clue what's going on. Like I just know I have this thing called aniridia that causes glaucoma. It's a form of glaucoma. You know, like that's how it was for me. The number one thing I hated the most as a kid was the finger thing. I'm so happy you brought that up in your YouTube short, was the fingers. That was always a kid and still to this day thing
Oh
where,
my
how many
gosh.
fingers are you holding out?
So Vika, how many fingers are we holding?
I can't say, Carrie.
Somebody else talked about this. I can't remember if it was a YouTube or TikTok or somewhere, but they're like, oh, I just guessed 2 because usually people put up 2 fingers. So next time they say that, just say 2 and then they won't believe that you're blind.
Yeah. That is true though, they do. I have noticed that even with doctors, like the nurses, when they try to check, like, because you know some have to check with the bad eye, they'll be like, how many fingers? And I'm like, 2. And they're like, right. So how many? And I'm like, do you still have 2? You know, and I feel like I'm cheating. Oh, there was someone who brought it up on TikTok about the letters. I forgot his name, but he always said like it's easy to cheat in the eye doctor because we never put up the same letters. And I was like, you're right, because for the longest time I remembered the letters they put up. It's an S, then it's E, and then it's A, and then it's something else. And I was like, oh, I'm cheating. I'm not telling them the truth.
I just tell them, though, because over here it's always E first. So I'm just like, it's an E.
Oh.
They're like, can you really? Because they know me now. And so I'm like, they ask me, oh, can you really see it? And I'm like, no. I just know it's an E. It's like, imagine if we
for me, but I've been honest now.
imagine if we just memorize the whole eye chart and like just read it off. What are the eye doctors gonna say then? No, no, guys, don't do that. But
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. We're bad. We're bad influences.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Oh, so what are some like? Are there any? Oh my gosh, stop laughing.
It's almost there, but you're laughing, so now I'm laughing.
Okay.
Okay, calm down. Calm down. Take it off.
So what other things are challenging being visually impaired, like, or having aniridia, and like what do you do to battle those challenges?
So I feel like for me, Anaridia isn't really the cause for right now, but mostly the hemorrhages. So it's Jay, his name is Jay on TikTok, and he brought this up like I think today or yesterday on, and he said something about like losing your vision is never you get used to. Like you can have it lose it and then you can have it come back and it'll still be the same or different type of feeling. And I did that all the time when I get a new hemorrhage. Like I feel like I learned how to be use like voiceover and stuff like that, but it never hits the same. And so that's a really hard challenge, like not knowing when a hemorrhage is going to happen now. And that's a hard part. Another thing that is more challenging is that since I started these hemorrhages and when I get my vision back, it's not as it used to be when I was younger. So like I could easily see like maybe the bus signs. Now I have to like ask like, what's the bus sign? And they'll be like, can't you see the sign? And I'm like, no. Or Colors are now like they're more vibrant, but at the same time it's harder to tell certain colors apart. So like when I used to be able to tell like a yellow greenish mix, I can't do that no more. It's more like I have to see the solid state color. So like lavender, I could be like, oh, it leans more toward the pink side, or it leans more towards the purple side, or this is maroon, this is wine. I can't see all those type of shades no more. It all looks purple, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's another challenge. And then like everything not being accessible. So like now we're happy to have dark mode, but not everyone has dark mode or is compatible to dark mode. So it's like, it's like a
Then you have to
headache.
use
Like
invert
Amazon, get dark
colors.
mode.
Yeah, you can use
Yeah,
the
and then
invert
that
colors.
sometimes
It's
hurts
not the
too.
same because you're like, what? Because of the pictures, right? So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
pain.
And then
But
Smart Invert, which I was happy with when Apple came out with Smart Invert, but then sometimes Smart Invert now doesn't always do a invert. So it's like,
mhm. And then there's always that thing too that I almost want to just have everything in light mode and then just use invert colors sometimes because
yeah,
I have to go back like okay, this app has dark mode and but this one doesn't. And then so like I have to
yes,
like turn on invert colors and then turn it off and then because I really it's so hard to read something when it's black on white for me. Like it's near impossible. I mean, like I could, but it's just so bright and it hurts
yes,
my eyes,
yes,
especially on
same.
technology. And I'm like, no, no, please get dark mode. And you know what made me really
Yes.
mad? Like somebody on Twitter was like, oh, I said that I hope someone get like an app gets dark mode. I can't remember what it was. And then they're like, oh, I hope they don't. Who needs dark mode? And I'm like, what?
Oh,
You can always
whatever.
turn it off, you know? If you don't like dark mode, turn it off. But that just bugged me.
No. I think
But
Amazon needs dark mode.
mhm, totally agree. The Alexa has dark mode. The app has it, which is cool, but not their like actual app. How come they don't have a dark mode on that? That's crazy. Come to think of it. Guess I'm gonna have to tweet them. Hey, get a dark mode.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I wish that I mean, I guess it's harder than like I can understand, but like how difficult can it be to make like the software to put things in dark mode? But I guess it's really hard.
Yes. And then I noticed like some apps, like some it depends on your phone or your device. So like sometimes Android will have an app, like I think it was Facebook. Everyone on Android had dark mode for Facebook before iPhone users. And
Oh
then
really?
TikTok has dark mode, but I don't think all yeah. And I don't
TikTok
think
has dark mode?
TikTok, I know
Are you serious? Where is
iPhone.
this? I gotta do that
Yeah,
now.
see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying
I
right
didn't
there.
know.
Androids don't have it, I don't think. But
Oh wow.
iPhone does. So it's like, why is
What?
all this? So like while I'm rocking it out on TikTok now, I know why you're not rocking it out. Because there's no dark mode.
That's why I'm like, oh wow, people commented. And I'm like, okay, I'll have to answer it on my computer because this is just not working out. And
Yeah.
speaking of TikTok, dude, I don't know. They need to work on their accessibility,
Yes, they
man.
do. Yes, they do.
Especially on Android, I'm like, this is not reading anything. Why are these buttons all unlabeled? Like, what the
Yes,
heck?
yes.
Is it labeled
I
for
was
iPhone? It probably is, right?
I well, I was helping Blind Toes with his TikTok when he made his first video or was trying to post his first video. And he was having a lot of issues. I'm not saying he had the toughest issues, but he was saying the coding wasn't right for voiceover
Mm-hmm.
either. So I think it's for both, it goes both ways. that it's not labeled right, because I'm sitting here visually trying to help him, although I know I use a little bit voiceover here and there, but voiceover freezes on TikTok a lot.
Are you
I know I'm not
serious?
the only one who has
Wow.
that issue. Yes, so it's complicated.
And it's funny. I thought it was funny. In the options, there's like an accessibility option, and I'm like,
No,
what is
yeah.
this? This is nothing. There's
Yeah,
like I
there
think
yeah, it's
one
like
option in
one
there.
putting an accessibility. Yeah, and I was hoping like at least they'll like have a print, like a font, like they'll raise the font up or something, and they don't even have that. It was like something that isn't even part of accessibility. They could have put it in like privacy or security.
I know. They're just trying, I guess they just want to have an accessibility menu just to have it and say, yeah, we have an accessibility menu. But yeah, they really need to step it up. You people at
Yeah.
TikTok, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still learning how to use TikTok. Because yeah, it's like a complicated app. Well, for me, I don't know. I I I only downloaded and like used TikTok since like you and Leah from Ability Mama 2 blogs like were like go on TikTok. So I have to keep learning that.
Yeah. Truthfully, I would do YouTube Shorts, but because of the beta test, it's only for people who have 1,000 subscribers.
Are you sure? No,
I
it's not. Did you
I didn't
try?
have the
You
I
don't
didn't
you
have the
don't have to have
option.
the option. You don't have to have the
Oh.
option. You upload the video. It has to be vertical under 60 seconds and people say under like 58 just to be safe. And just put hashtag
Oh.
shorts on short or shorts? Shorts. Yeah, hashtag shorts on the video title somewhere and it's supposed to put it on the shorts shelf.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, you can do YouTube shorts. There you go. And so, um, oh, I have one for you, Vika.
Okay.
A quick, the last question about Anaridia. What's a
Okay.
piece of encouragement you would give to somebody who has Anaridia or a parent who has a child with Anaridia?
I honestly would say don't give up don't give up on it too fast. Oh no, where'd she go? Oh no, Carrie.
No, keep going.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. But I'm like, just don't give up. It's in because it's how can I word this? There's not a lot of research for Anoridia, so I know it can be very, very frustrating at times, especially like when you're trying to do your own research and you have Carrie only pop up here for most of the, especially on YouTube. But yeah, it can be discouraging, but don't give up. There, like Carrie told me, find a very good ophthalmologist and hopefully they'll know about Anoridia and they can help you through it. Mine always tells me to ask questions. He's like, I don't care how long the session goes, ask me questions. So sometimes
Yeah,
we'll have
don't.
him. Yeah,
Nobody should be afraid to ask their doctor any questions,
yeah. So
whatever you have.
don't let it discourage you from doing what you love and stuff like that. I love to dance and I can't shake my head a lot, but I love to dance. I love headbanging too. And just don't let it discourage you.
Amen. I love that. Yeah. I know there's so little research on Anaridia. There's some.
Yeah.
And the Anaridia Foundation International has does research, but because there's just not enough of us, there's not enough cases and
Yes.
I think there's not enough people that are super interested in doing research for like us. It's it's tough and there's
And
not a lot of treatments for aniridia. Really,
yes.
you can't treat aniridia
No, you
be-
can't.
because it's a genetic problem. And so what?
Oh, I was gonna say, and now I found out that it's very more it's still very rare, but it's a little more common in the UK than the United States. And then most of the time when you try to find like places that specialize in Anaridia as children hospitals, and I every time I go to the doctor, and if there's a new like a resident doctor or someone that's new there, I always ask them, "Have you ever met someone with Anaridia before you deal with me? Because I'm very light sensitive." And they're like, some people usually say yes now because it's starting to pop up in books, textbooks. Even
Oh.
for like, my mom usually goes to the dentist a lot, and she'll tell them like, "Hey, I have Anaridia," and they're like, "I just read about that," or "We just had a little tiny lesson on that." So it is starting to pop up in medical books. It is, so that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing.
And yeah, because because it's it's a disease that can be passed on. That's probably part of the fact that there's more people that are getting aniridia, right? Because, parents might have aniridia and then they pass it along to their kids. And so maybe that's what's growing the number of people with aniridia. But for me, when I go to the eye doctor, and this is a pretty big hospital, and just it's still a doctor's appointment. It's just at the
Yeah.
hospital. And the doctor comes to me and like they'll look at my eyes and then they'll get like three other people who are
Yes.
usually
Yes.
residents, and then
Yes.
they're like,
Yes. Yes.
come look at this eye. Like,
Yeah.
what am I, chopped liver? Like,
I
I'm
feel
just a
like
piece
that.
of meat.
There was one time where I was sitting there for, I think I had a scratch on my eye, and I had to go to this random other type of doctor. I don't know what he was there for, but he was doing like a documentary type of thing, and they were like, "Can we film you?" And I'm like, "Because we found out you were here," and I'm like, "I guess I don't know what's going on, but I guess." Like they always do that. Like, this is someone with Anaridia, and I'm like, yeah, it's not that awesome. I guess I'm your rare specimen."
Yeah, I guess so. And then they'll have the residents sit down and
Yes.
then look at your eye, right? And then they'll like
Yeah.
all be like looking over each other's shoulders, looking at your
Mhm.
eye. Like, and part of me is like, okay, that's fine because, I want more people to know about aniridia. But at the
Yes.
same time, it's like, dude, really?
Yes. Exactly. I got you. I understand that.
Like, seriously, yeah, but okay, so let's see who's in the chat here because I know we've gotten a lot of messages and I want
Yeah,
to
we
like
did. Um,
acknowledge.
to Alexis, I know you just commented. I am actually from Kentucky. I'm not from the UK. I just know there's more cases in the UK. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll back up here. Hey, I wonder if I do this. Oh, it doesn't make it bigger.
Yeah, you
Oh
can.
man.
I
Okay.
can.
Um,
We got a lot of.
Addison says, okay, let's see. I'm going back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, Audrey is in here, and Addison, I don't know if they're still here, but hello, and Blind Toes is still here. Jordan says, he's saying hello to everybody. Everybody says hello to each other. Aren't you guys so nice to each other? I
Yeah,
love
you guys
that.
are so nice.
I didn't know they could remove scar tissue from eyes. That's interesting. I I don't know. Can they do that?
So, okay, so for me, when I always get scar tissue removed from the eyes, it's like a surgery. And I think it's mostly them like trying to do it like a cataract. They can never remove the
Oh,
whole amount, but they can remove enough where I can see. So, but it'll always
gotcha.
grow back. So keep that in mind. It's like a cataract, just like a cataract. So like
Grows
recently,
back.
yeah, it grows back. I had a laser surgery back in, was it September? I think it was September, early September. I had laser surgery to remove the scar tissue, and my mom just had another surgery in early November for the same reason, but it was mostly to reduce the eye pressure. But yeah, it's basically grow back. So don't get your hopes up.
Mm.
It'll fix the problem at the moment, but it'll grow back.
Yeah, and glaucoma is one of those things that you really have to watch out for. I guess
Yeah.
we both have glaucoma, and I take like 3 different
Oh,
drops
wait,
for
wait.
it.
Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, I take a lot of drops.
What
I I
how
have
many do you
all
take?
I have all of these. I take one called dorzolamide. That's I think that's the main one for glaucoma. I see a lot of
I
people
don't
here.
take that one.
I think it's called COSOB, or I think it's originally called COSOB, but the the brand name or something I get is dorzolamide.
Oh, okay,
It's a
yeah.
blue lid, and then I got a purple lid.
Is that bromomadine
Yes,
or something
that's
else?
the one I
Oh,
got.
yeah, there
Yes,
you go.
yep. And then I take something called permisolone, which is used for
Never
mostly
heard of
after the surgeries. And then
Oh,
I take
okay.
cysteine, and this is called atropine for the pain. So I take a lot of drops, guys. And I just got put on another over-the-counter one that's called Thermatears. So it's like
Mhm.
cysteine, but it's for dry eyes, and it's supposed to help the cornea or something. I don't know, but because
Okay.
I guess our corneas are so close to where some of us have partial eye or something.
Mhm.
So one of the retina specialists basically said mine rubs the partial iris I have or something rubs so close to something else, so it basically is scratching it.
Okay, yeah. So I take bromomadine and I take
Ah,
something called timolol.
oh, I
And
know that one.
yeah, it's actually I used to take Combigan, and then like my insurance didn't cover it anymore, so they had to like split it apart, which was bromomadine and alphagan. And then I also take Travatan Z at night. Um and then which is really expensive, by the way. But now they have a actual generic one, which is called Trazod. No, not Trazodone. That's a different medicine. I can't remember. Travoprost, something like that. And then I take Diamox when I need to. Have you ever had to take Diamox?
I don't think so.
Acetazolamide. It's like the pill. It's like a
Oh no,
pill
I
that you
never
take.
took pills for vision. So it's
Okay,
a
yeah. It's kind of like they don't want you to take it. It's only like if you're on basically all the drops, and then like
um
it still doesn't uh, you still need to lower your pressure. You take something called Diamox.
interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. I wonder if anybody else on here has glaucoma too. Because like a lot of the things that Anaridia has, other like it's also kind of common, not necessarily common, but like other people also have it without having Anaridia, like glaucoma and cataracts, right?
Yes.
But we usually tend, like, people with Anaridia usually tend to get them earlier in life. That's the difference. And Blind Bill says it's amazing how science uh has learned about the human body, yet how little they know at the same time. That's so true. It's so true. They know
Yeah.
so much about it, but at the same time, like, it's still not enough.
Yes.
Would you ever get a bionic eye? Like, if they
Is
had
that
a
the fake
complete,
eye?
yeah, like a complete, like a basically like a robot eye, like a
Mm, I as soon as I lost my vision in the right eye, even though it was my bad eye, they were already talking about a fake eye, and I was like,
Mm.
"What? You guys didn't even give me time to process the vision loss."
Wow.
So, I've been thinking about it recently. My grandfather has
And I
it,
want to know for the people in the chat too, would they ever get like a bionic eye or whatever
or
you
do
call
you
those things?
have one?
Oh,
If you have one in the
okay.
chat,
Or
let us
you have
know.
one.
Yeah, because I've been debating on it. Like, I'm so fed up with pain now that I'm debating.
Well,
But
I mean,
because
uh-huh.
Anaridia is so spotty, it's like I'm scared to remove the bad eye, because if I remove the bad eye, would that affect my good eye? So
Well, there's what do you call it? Like, there's a prosthetic eye, which is like basically a fake eye, but I'm talking about like an eye that can replace your eye so that you can be able to see. Like
oh,
basically a complete like a eye implant, like something in the future, maybe in 10 years or 20 years or so. Would you ever get
mm,
one?
mm, maybe. I'm not sure about that.
What if
I
your
know.
eye got hacked? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly. Like, yeah, you gotta consider things, little things like that, like getting hacked, and I'm bad with passwords, dude. I'm already
Oh
scared of
no,
getting.
you forgot the password to your
Yeah.
eye.
So, no, I have to consider this first. Let me think it over for like a year or two. Can you make sure this is model number 10, not the first model? I don't want to be the test subject. Like the PS5 right now.
Oh, your eye
You guys
got a
just saw.
virus. Oh
Yeah,
no.
I'm good.
Gosh, no. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. Jordan says, I don't read large print. I read Braille. And yeah, I know a little bit of Braille. I need to relearn Braille. The grade 2 Braille or the UEB. Like when I was in school, they taught me Braille, but like it was one of those things where I just learned it just to learn it and get out of class, but I never really used it very well. But I would love to learn Braille better.
Yeah.
What about you?
I want to learn Braille, but at the same time, I know my brain is probably getting really old where I won't remember it.
But Kayla learned it and she was an adult too, so you can
Okay.
do it. There's a lot of people who learn it as adults.
I remember the alphabet. Well, half the alphabet. Like, I think I can remember up to like L and then a spotty from there.
Well, the thing with Braille is if you know A through J, um, you can basically know the rest of the alphabet. Okay, because
Oh,
like
okay.
A through J. So for example, like if you put them in a row, so that's the
Mm-hmm.
first row, A through J, and the second
Yeah.
row is K through T. So like if you think K, right above K is A. So if you just add a dot 3 to the whole second line, you get those letters. So A is dot 1, and then K is dot 1 and 3. And then the same thing
Yeah.
with B. So 1 and 2, and then you just put a dot 3 and it's an L. And then for like the third row, U, V, X, Y, Z, you just add the dot 3 and the dot 6. And then W is just like a backwards R.
That's
Because
interesting.
they didn't have W, or I don't remember what the story with the W is, because I think they didn't have it in the language, or I don't know what happened with W.
Oh, speaking of languages, so I don't know how your school went about it, but how did you do with learning cursive?
Cursive, we didn't have to write in cursive,
Oh,
thank
that's
goodness.
good. I remember
Did you have to write cursive?
they were teaching us up till like second grade, and I was like,
We
yes, I loved it. But then later on, I was like, oh God, I'm so glad I didn't learn it.
Like, I know how to write cursive, they taught it to us,
Yeah.
but we didn't have to. After we learned how to do it, they didn't make us do it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, because I can't read my cursive. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck does that
Right.
say? And then when people write in cursive, I'm like, please write in print, or you know what?
Well,
Better yet, just type it, please. Send me a Word
it
document.
what's interesting is that, like, when I went to China, there was they would tell me to write my signature. So in like American mind, that's writing cursive. And then this lady who was judging me just already by my vision problem, she was like, "This girl has very sloppy handwriting," and I was just like, I signed my name. So when I talked to the guy from the UK, he was like, "Oh, no, you just print your name." And I was like, "Oh, oh."
Oh,
So I was like, "Oh, my
wow.
bad." So when he was trying to explain to her, he was like, "Oh, no, she doesn't have bad handwriting. She just, in the United States, they do cursive as a
Mm-hmm.
signature." And then he was explaining to her, she's like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And then when she saw my print, she was like, "Whoa, for a blind person, she's actually really good."
I hate when they say that for a blind person.
I know.
Like seriously, really? Okay.
Hi, Leah.
Oh, somebody said that they can. Oh, Blind Bill said I can read 72-point font with bold readers. Like once you get there, though, I think it's easier to just use like a screen reader. I think
Yeah.
that's really kind of really big. But like for me though, even if something is 72-point font, I still need it close because if you put that thing far for me, like my eyes just can't focus and like take in what it says, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, Blind Toes says, no, my toes can't see. Okay, Blind Toes. I can read Braille. Can't see any writing. Okay. Oh, somebody has an e-site for that they're very happy with. Vika, Vika toes are stubborn. Let's see here. I actually use a technique for my cane, or if I turn it to the side, I can get out if you get stuck. I'm not sure what he's talking about. I love the fact that Vika is is an anime fan. Oh, I love Dragon Ball too.
Yeah,
Jordan
she is
into
more of a
Dragon
Dragon Ball fan than me, but yes, anime all the way.
Ball. Well, the thing is, like, I didn't. If I don't know why, I think it's more of nostalgia for me, like the whole Dragon Ball thing, because I used to watch Dragon Ball with my brother. But like, I like more. I don't know, romantic anime usually, but I don't know. I end up usually watching like people fighting anime because that's a
Yeah,
lot of anime.
I love fighting animes too.
Okay, I'd love to have a new Samsung phone. I don't know how people can afford those expensive new phones. Yeah, they really
You know,
ramp up those prices, but you can always get them in like a monthly plan, I guess, right?
in- also Samsung has been killing it with their affordable phones, the
Oh,
A71s. Although they're like more called the international phone, budget phones, they're killing it in the budget phone game. Google
I'm
Pixel is
gonna
kind
stay
of
with my
budget
Pixel,
friendly.
guys.
Yeah, the Pixel is very budget friendly. Like it's a little high when they're newer, but I think her Pacific one is like around like 100 right now, and the 3A is like around 200. They're getting really good in the prices now.
Large print. Okay. Yes, this is on YouTube.
Hi,
Okay.
Pablo.
Uh, okay. Could you hear that?
No, I just saw
Okay.
you lean the other way.
My vision law. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Isn't high school just the best when you have a disability? Ha 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 ha.
Hit or miss.
No, not how many fingers. I would usually ask them how many fingers am I holding up, and I'll be holding up one finger.
Oh,
I'll
the
let you
middle
guys guess
finger.
which one. Okay, guys. How many toes am I holding up?
Blind toes, I will come find you.
I refuse to have a Twitter anymore. It's just horrible negativity. Well, it's because I don't know. I don't go through that because I just don't look at negative stuff. I don't get involved there. Eye charts are silly at this point. I go to my ophthalmologist every 5 weeks for injections in my eyes. Ow!
I get injections too for the hemorrhages, so I know the pain.
Ow!
Yeah.
Ow!
It's my new normal. I hate it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. Blind toes. Carrie, Leah, and Vika peer pressured us into TikTok. Yeah.
We did not.
Yes, you did. Don't
Okay,
even
okay.
lie.
Okay, we
Don't
did.
even lie. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, hey, Leah. Oh, Leah's here.
Yeah.
Has she been here for a while? Okay.
Not too long. You're catching up really fast with this chat.
We heard Pablo. Oh, you guys heard Pablo. Mine says, I heard things have changed in the past 30 years. I need to get someone from the old school days to tell me what's changed. Okay, wait. Oh, a look into inside a blind life is here. Hello, and Alexis. I don't need to learn cursing because I learned Braille. Oh, cursive. I think she means cursive. What is that? Oh, they learned it at 34.
Oh.
See? Audrey learned Braille when she was 34, looks like.
Okay.
I would get a bionic eye so I can look at the ladies' flying toes. I think we gotta put him in timeout. Where's the timeout button here? Where's the timeout button here? To get my vision back, I would do whatever it takes. Like, you know, I don't mind having my vision back, but I would still just be careful because, again, I'm afraid of technology. Technology can be really good, but at the same time, it could be really bad. Like maybe like what Vika was saying, the 10th generation.
Yeah.
Would I get a bionic eye and fight crime at night? Absolutely. I love that. I would love that. Oh my gosh. Like imagine they would just start calling us cyborgs.
Oh gosh.
Timolol is in Kosovo? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've used most of the somebody has glaucoma too, and they use I think she's saying that she uses COSOP too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. I know a lot of people who use COSOP. But I've never actually had to take that one.
Lucky, it burns.
Really?
I think the purple drop is less. I think like if your eyes are really like hurting or something, it burns a little. But like this one, it burns. Oh god, I hate it so much.
Oh wow. Okay. Like that's timolol a little bit for me at least. It doesn't burn a lot, but it's like it's kind of more like a stinging or like you can really feel it going in. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so I think we've caught up to the chat. You guys are having so much fun over there.
Yeah.
And all right, but I think that is there anything else that you want to share about Anaridia or low vision or being visually impaired, blind, anything?
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot in the past hour and a half.
Yeah, I think so too. And it was so much fun. Thanks everybody for joining us. And Vika, I have to do an interview with you one of these days about you and your channel or just you. And because you're so much fun and we can
Oh,
talk
thank
more about
you.
anime and oh, okay. But yeah, I think we're just gonna have to draw this live stream to a close. And again, thanks to everybody for coming on here.
Thank you so much, everyone. It really means a lot.
Yeah, definitely. We love you.
Yes. You guys can't see it, but I'm putting up like 2 finger hearts.
Oh, I couldn't see it either.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I'm doing it.
Audio description.
Yes. Yuka
There
has
you
put
go.
up 2 finger hearts. One with her thumb and her index finger.
I didn't even know how to do a 2-finger heart. How do you do it?
So it's like you cross your thumb and your pointer finger, or your ring finger. Is that what it is?
My thumb and my
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah, it's like a
What?
little heart.
I don't know how to do this.
I'll send you a picture.
Okay, I feel so old. Like, is this what the kids do these days?
It's a K-pop thing too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like in back in my day,
Yeah,
we used to just do like the 2-hand heart,
Yeah,
you know, the
we'll do
2-hand
that. We'll
heart.
do that.
There you go. I can do that one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I'm 28 and you're only like 1 year younger than me, but I don't know. When you have children, it makes you old.
But you're 27.
Huh?
I thought you were
Oh wait,
27.
no, I'm 27. I'm going to be turning 28.
Yeah, me too.
Wow, okay, so we're like the same age, but I still feel
Aren't you
older.
like in
I'm still older.
Are you August?
Yeah, August.
Yeah, I'm May, so I'm actually older than you. By a few months.
I don't know. I'm still older because I have a child. I'm still older because when you have a child, you know, you have 10 more years. So
That's true.
it's like so I'm technically like 37. I don't know.
Honestly, that's what I will say this before we end it. That is something I am scared of doing, is having kids because of Anaridia being but it's like I don't know.
I don't know. I think that any kids that you have, Vika, will be very blessed to have a mom like you.
Oh, you're
in the
so
future.
sweet. Now I'm red.
Oh. No, but I mean, you can always get genetic testing, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, if you think about it, you know, you had Anoridia from your mom, and when you are a parent and you have Anoridia, sometimes it's actually easier because you know what they need and what they can do and what to watch out for, and you know you don't let them get away with
That is true.
pulling the blind card. So in a lot of ways, you know, whether they're blind or sighted, you know, you even if you get genetic testing, or even if somebody is like, there's a couple that are both sighted and don't have any disabilities, there's never a guarantee that, you know, the children are gonna be the same, like they won't have any disability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would just go for it. All right, guys, so on that note, thanks again for coming, and I will see you all in the next video.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Right. All right, where's the... Okay, there you go.